Hello everyone, and welcome to another stream. So we passed from David Cage to something much more affordable. This is something that you may have heard of it, the Crash Bandicoot of RPGs, It's called this minor thing called Dark Souls, done by From Software, specifically the remastered version on PS4. We're here to take a sort of a slow approach for this one instead of doing something similar to our previous runs. In tune with the whole theme of the series, the pilgrimage of wandering soul needing to find a purpose in life and everything. These streams will be taken bite-sized, and whenever we feel like it. It's not like it's going to be a thing pressuring us. And right now it's me, Shiroi, and Lives, but anyone can drop in or drop out as much as they want. Jova, Pedro, Deji, Taylin, even other guests as we want. It's just fine. But anyway, let's not beat around the bush and let's start. And we start with, settings that I am already. And here we go, time to create our character. Mind the audience, Dweebs and Shiroi having to watch the stream will have receive this signal, later than me, as per usual with streams. So we'll have things a bit delayed, but I'll ask in straight for this case for making our character. I'll ask instructions and they will give me input, and I'll decide what to do. Some things I will decide to predetermine in a sense. For example, the gift here. The gift, let me explain quickly. The gift is some starting item that you get, and depending on what you get, it's sort of a starting bonus. Similar to an RPG. You can choose to start with nothing. Some of them are mildly useful for the right beginning, like for example you get a set of fire bombs, for example, or a goddess, but I wouldn't recommend. It's like one of those super powerful items that you should be using really, but you don't because it's too rare, like elixirs in a Final Fantasy game, for example, or like twin humanities or binoculars. Dependent does absolutely nothing. I will display more because trust me, it will be a lot of moment where nothing happens to talk about. So I'll choose the one that a lot of people pick, the Master Key. The Master Key will allow us to bypass a couple of doors at the beginning, which will make things more, simple in the long run. Let's start instead with the class. I'll just give a brief description. The game does it too. Basically, it only determines your initial equipment and your initial stats. The warrior is more suited for strength and dexterity. It's not super agile and lacks intelligence, so it's not exactly perfect for a magic build, but it's recommended for beginner players. Knight is like a bit heavier in that sense, but it's also slower on the process. The Wanderer instead relies on dexterity, so it's super agile, but doesn't have the same amount of defense and attack power. The Thief is like the power-up version of that, but lacks a bit less attack power and defense. The Bandit is a sort of a mixed bag. He has a very good, bit vitality and strength, but he still wears, leather armor. Hunter is also more specialized for range combat, for example. So it's a bit more similar to the Thief. The Sorcerer, just don't do it. If you want to do a magic build, just do something else. The Pyromancer is an interesting one because it relies obviously on pyromancy, which doesn't really means you have to do a magic build. The Cleric, if you want to do a magic build, you should probably start with this because it also has a bit or decent amount of strength. And then there's the joke character, my favorite, the Deprived. This guy goes around starting just with a simple plank of wood, a simple club, and nothing but a speedo. He compensates this by having complete balanced stats. It's supposed to be a joke character, but I would argue it's perfect for beginners because it allows you to customize exactly the way you want. Dweebs, what amongst these, even without having to remember everything, what would you pick just, for example, for the things the class that you would like the most?
Pyromancer.
Okay, what about you, Shiroi?
Anything that makes shit die faster.
Yeah, fire.
Sure, let's go with pyromancer. I actually never tried a build like that.
Well, hey, 90% of things die from fire.
Honestly, yeah, especially considering building pyromancy is actually really easy.
What about gender?
For the yes.
What about gender?
Yeah, I'm getting it. Well, this is 0 to 10 ruin. It's only male or female. So, Dweebs, what do you think?
I would toss a coin, but I don't have one nearby now. So, actually, I'll just use my I'll use my cup coaster. Picture side up, it's male. Blank side up, it's female.
Go on.
Female.
Well, you, Shiri, what would you think?
I don't care either way.
It doesn't change your stats, so there's no.
It really doesn't matter to me. So whatever.
It really is equal. All right, let me try a coin toss myself, and I'll decide. Male, it is. Sorry, Dweebs.
So I just tossed my drinks coaster for nothing.
Keep it. We may need it later. Now we will get to the face later. For now, instead, the physique. The physique sadly is only like you have a selected series of different minor options that doesn't change too much. You have average, which it's exactly what it says on the tin. Mind you, again, this doesn't change your stat. It makes you look goofier if you want. There's slim or very slim. There's large or very large, like a potato, or just a large upper body, because when you want to skip leg day, or when you instead don't want to skip leg day, large lower body, or you can even have a big head or small head modes if you want. Usually that would be relegated to cheat, but whatever. So, Dweebs, you want to stick with average or pick one of the goofier ones?
Go for
Remember
very
that
slim.
this will stick for the entire run, mind you.
Go for very slim. Have it be the story of a guy who proves that you don't need big giant muscles to save the day.
What about you, Shirai?
Bulky.
So it's either very slim or very large. All right, I'm aiming for either of the two, so I'll just toss my coin myself and see. Very slim. Congratulations, Liz.
Yes,
You won. You won this time. All right, the face just gives a simple palette. We'll be customizing it much later on. You have the commoner, which is your average peasant,
Of course.
Then there's the Delta farmer, which is a bit more, chubby on the cheeks, then a bit more, darker in skin, but just a tad. Then there's the Astora noble, which is instead has a more slim face. Dragon Scholar, which is similar but also has, tinier eyes. A cleric, which also similar but has a bigger nose and more pronounced eyebrows. A Katarina, a jubilant Katarina, which is has a African ethnicity based, and a jolly. Dubious Karim, which is pale as fuck. Jesus.
Wow.
Sorry, Shirai.
Heck, I'm not even that pale.
Well, this one is really apparently, but anyway, don't worry. Again, we can. It's just for the the template. We can change it at any moment. Then there's the classic Xena, which is more similar to the Delta Farmer, but has a bit more pronounced eyes. The eerie Great Swamp, which I don't even know what is this. Like, who decided to do this? It looks like something made from spore. And the Far East Traveler, which is more, Asian-inspired, as the name pronounces. If you want my opinion, Dweebs, we should probably start with the commoner and move from there, because, customizing and everything. But what do you think?
Delta Farmer.
Shirai? You want the dubious Karim?
No. The Great Swamp.
All right.
That was
Great
further
Swamp.
down.
Yeah, I know. Let me solve this also with a coin toss. Might as well. Sorry, I guess Dweebs won this round too.
Okay.
Yay.
One thing I will say about the incredibly pale one is that the surrounding area of their eyes are still quite tan. So they just
No,
kind of took a dip in a bottle of flour or something, like a
Alright.
bath of flour.
As for the hair, it's don't worry about the hair color. We will, we can put it there. We can either have our character bald, or having stuff like receding, which looks a bit like Travis touched. Short, which is very average. Swept back, which is similar to the average Tekken character. A ponytail, which is actually my favorite.
Awesome.
Wild, which means that oh my god, I can literally see the middle string.
Oh,
You'll
wow.
see in a second. Parted center, which is even worse in that regard. Semi-long, but which looks like a bit like Squall from MNZ8.
Starting to look more like a boy band member here.
Curly, which I guess looks a bit like Helen Bonham Carter. And bobbed, which is absolutely the worst. Seriously, why
Oh my
would
god,
you
it's
go
a
around?
bowl cut.
Alright, Dweebs, what do you think?
Bobbed.
Bobbed? You,
I mean,
Shiri?
we're trying to make the world's
Ye-
biggest abomination, so...
Yeah, this time I'm more inclined with Shiro because I just like the ponytail style.
What
Sorry,
happened to the
Dweebs.
coin toss?
Well, in this case, I was not in favor of either, just one.
You weren't in favour of either on the face and you tossed the coin
Please
there.
don't worry, you will have other occasions. But anyway, as for the hair color, the standard selection, the one which can be customized too, we have black, dark brown, light brown, dark red, dark blue, gray, gold, silver, dark purple, and red.
Let's go for silver.
What about you want to do Geralt of Rivia, I guess. What about you, Shiri?
Can't make your mind up.
Remember, this is just this can be
Yeah.
potentially just a template. We can change it if we want.
Dark purple.
All right, I'll toss the coin just to be sure. This flips and silver it is for now at least.
You're winning a lot of these.
Mind you, with that hood will not be able to see that much. So
Tio, could you tell me Friday's lucky Euro Millions lottery numbers?
no lips. All right, let's start with. We'll go for the detail a bit later on, but let's start with our maturity. Do we want our character to be young or old, or just a way in between, or how much in between?
Max old.
Max, okay. You really want to do Geralt of Rivia, Dweebs. The protagonist of The Witcher. What about you, Shirei? I'll scroll in the meantime just to show the difference between two very young and very old.
I'd say somewhere just below the middle, I guess.
So kinda like this.
Like 40%, I guess, whatever the equivalent is.
Yeah, the starting point was like 20, so it's just a bit.
Yeah,
like
that
this.
works.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad. Sorry, I don't know, Dweebs. This seems to be fine. If you want to go for more with the characters, we actually are about to have more, opportunities. For example, right now there's another one: hormones. Do we want our character to be more masculine, feminine, or a mid between? I'm gonna start asking you, Shirei, because it's
Let's
too
put him
young.
more on the feminine side.
I'll just, put like this to
Go
just show.
full-
Oh my god!
Go full Max
Oh
feminine.
No. Dweebs.
I was gonna say go Max feminine.
He looks. Oh my god, he looks like He looked like the Slovene. Look at that.
We're off to a great start.
Yes, we are. Actually, we're keeping that.
Yeah, we're just
Sure.
fucking around.
I'm
Yeah.
all for it.
Keep
I
that.
mean, it's
I
unanimous.
was mostly joking, but.
No, I'm sorry, it's unanimous. Anyway, features. we basically determines if our character is weak, you know, in appearance, mind you, just appearance, or stronger, bulky and everything.
Max
Lives,
weak.
Max weak? What about you, Shirai?
Weak.
There we go. That's what it is. Yeah, that seems
Are
about
you
right.
sure we don't have the female one now?
Honestly, Dreams, that's the beauty of randomness. Alright, here we go. For the last set of options, the more, you know, precise one. Let's start with the forehead. Okay. Oh my god, I have no idea. Mind you, this particular set of options are connected to each other, so if we push one, another will be pushed sometimes in the opposite direction. So we'd probably just stick to one and see what we can do. For example, let me try to see if this what does.
Make it a big one. We'll go full Haru from Persona 5 on this shit.
Oh my god, it's just no, it looks terrible. Let me try Asperity, I think it is. Yeah, it's basically makes separated or not. There we go. Like this, the nose bridge. Oh yeah, basically how much your you know eyebrows are pronounced. Basically, it leaves you can make it convex by making our extremely intimidating character angry, or just concave to make it look more tranquil.
Concave, no one will see it coming.
Sherry, is it fine?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Alright, well, basically, like I said, everything else gets touched automatically, so let's move to the next. Eyebrows. There we go. Our eyebrow bridge. Oh, we can make it look sad. Alright, that's how it is. Basically, we can make it, there we go, look very puzzled. Or we can make it look like very sad, actually.
Make it puzzled. Make it like so this guy has absolutely no idea what's going on around him.
Yeah, the entire time.
Perfect. There we go.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Alright, here are the eyes, dweebs. Let's see, up or down?
Or all around.
Large
Yeah.
eyes. We're going for like a hodgepodge.
Yeah, let's go eye size. Large.
We're going for a hodgepodge.
We were actually already close, apparently.
Why not? We're going for a hodgepodge of Witcher and anime now anyway, so might as well go the whole.
Alright, for the color of the pupils, there's not that much we can do, especially because we will not be able to see that much. But do you have any particular preferences?
Red.
Alright, full red. What about you, Shiroi?
Red or white in there? Like white.
Alright, let's go full red.
Red, white. I see what you did there, sorry.
Red's bad. Perfect.
Yeah, so our...
Alright,
so
Weaves,
our
your
main
favorite
character is-
moment, the nose.
so our main character is automatically
Or one of the homunculus from, Fullmetal Alchemist. Alright, Dweebs, nose. How much big do you want it, just to know?
Make it like the tiniest nose ever.
Oh my god, it looks...
Oh.
It's quite something.
She was born from a human and a cat. That's how it
That doesn't look like a cat nose.
It's tiny.
No,
She
Jesus, that looks like too porcine.
She looks like one of the cats from that Cats trailer recently.
Alright, yeah, I think this should suffice. Alright, cheeks, this one is actually really easy. How much puffy do you want it?
Ultra puffy.
I want to see what they look like with really thin cheeks.
Let me try. Oh, no.
Wait.
Aye.
There you go. That's how it is. The second option, cheekbone depth. It's very. It looks very, like I said, puzzled. So, but let's see. At maximum instead, it's. But the difference is not too suitable, but should be fine. Well, let's go through the lowest. Like she said, it's fine.
Can't wait till we show this to Pedro and Joe. Like, they'll be so freaked out.
Mind you, Dweebs, I'm not sure how much it will be showable, let's just say, considering we're covered by most clothes. So this is purely for candy eyes only. Alright, lips. Mouth expression, happy or sad? Or even middle?
Happy. She's a very complex. This guy's a very complex.
It's maximum happy and there's no trace of a smile.
This guy's a very complex individual. He has no idea what's going on, but he wants to put on a smile.
Also, of course, Tio, they know what they're in for.
You're going to die.
A lot.
Purse. Alright, this is determines how large our lips
Oh
are.
gosh.
We're gonna make it Squidward
Are you
now.
sure we're not
Jesus.
making the
They
Joker?
look like they just look incredibly smug.
Are you sure we're not making the Joker now or something?
It's funny you mentioned this with because one of my YouTuber that I actually know a bit more friends, when making the character creator of Bloodborne, he actually managed to recreate a decently looking good Joker with that and he stick with it for his run. If I ever get to live stream Bloodborne, I'll probably go with that as well. Alright, what it is? We're almost done. The jaw, let's see, how much protonding do you want this chin with?
Long.
Well, I thought worst, I guess. It's still a bit, V-shaped. But I think it can be done... there you go, like... Long... chin size, there you go. Oh god, this is just... It looks
Now
like a lamp.
we're going in for Cruella de Vil.
It looks
character.
like a lamprey.
It looks like the most wacky Ace Attorney character you can.
We should have just made this an Ace Attorney character, honestly.
Sure, let's stick with this, it's fine. And
Okay.
and finally, the hair color. Alright, do we want to stick with silver
Yeah, we'll
or
stick with
experiment a
silver.
bit? What about you, Shiroi?
I'm okay with sticking with silver.
And that's, I think, pretty much the result. I don't even think there's an option for a beard. That's bullshit.
Oh.
Well, beards are overrated anyway, so...
I'll pretend I didn't hear that. Alright, we're almost done. All we need is a name.
Oh, okay.
Be careful, Daves. If we ever decide to go online with this, spoilers, we're not using the online feature at the moment, but I'm promising we'll at the very least take a look at it for funsies. I already know a good place to do that. But Dweebs, remember, potentially these will be shown to other players, so no swearing, no sexual jokes or anything like that.
Alright. How about Jovus Gaven Pedro?
Oh my god. What is Shiri done to you, Dweebs?
I've met her one too many times.
Your
I have
input,
no idea. I'm actually very bad at naming things.
I can move this as well.
Oh.
I may have a couple of joke names that may me fit, but I don't think they work for the English version. Let me
Can
see.
we find one of those, like, RPG name generators?
Please, onto the internet. Go.
I'll do it. RPG name. And that's...
Like Mad Libs.
Like, I don't know what any of them are called, but I know there's a few out there.
Yeah, don't worry guys, I'm ready. Here we are. Fantasy name generators. Names for your fantasy
Okay.
characters.
Go.
Don't worry, I'm on it.
Go!
The page is taking a bit to load.
Okay.
Fantasy name generators. I'm getting a lot of specific ones for specific games. So that's
Well, the one that you think will fit the most are gone.
let's go for. We mentioned Ace Attorney. What about Phoenix names?
Gone.
Let's see. Phoenix names.
Trevor will love it.
Oh, it actually gives you a choice.
Between?
We've got Revy, Glow, Smoke, Aurora, Bonfi, Sunny, Sol, Bonfi again, Verno, and Juvenati.
Giovanotti. Well, I will go for Ferno because it's metal.
But but for the sake of, you know, the hell of it, I'm kind of tempted by Sunny.
Honestly, yeah, that doesn't sound that bad. Dweebs, what do you think?
I don't know. Well, Sunny D might be breaking copyright laws, so.
No, not for the names like that actually don't, so don't worry about that.
What about Sunny Tio?
Instead of Sunny D, it's Sunny
Actually,
T.
no. I have the perfect. Just watch as I input it.
Okay.
Voila.
What Dave? I can't see it.
Tio Sunny.
And here we go. Enjoy
Alright.
the. Well, you guys are about a second, but for the audience, enjoy the intro that literally everyone else has saw a million times.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed,
Well, we're still waiting for the name.
shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire. And with fire...
Basically, in case you don't know, these games are cryptic, it's to say the least. This intro only gives you the very basic set of ideas on how things are in the world and everything, but it just raises like a jillion questions already. And the director of the game, Itaka Miyazaki, pretty much did it kind of on purpose, but I'll elaborate more later. Needless to say, though, I actually really like this setting and the various things that have formed from the fire, and, you know, the souls.
You know, speaking of games of this kind of tone and setting and that.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer for the Witcher Netflix show?
I did. It's fine. And for now, we'll see more. And Henry Cavill looks the part of Geralt, so sure.
And his faithful knights.
However, he apparently is at least temporarily gave up being Superman for that.
Pretty pygmy.
Hence why we only saw Superman's torso at.
Yeah. Well, remember, Dweebs, like I said yesterday off commentary, but apparently he's in negotiation again to get back the role at some point, hopefully. Who knows, we'll see. So yeah, with all these different factions, they wage war against the dragons for, you know, the sake of bringing their order, quote-unquote, to the world.
So it's the Dragon Prince ripped this off.
Kinda, although, kinda spoilers, Dweebs, there's no happy ending in this, as far as we know.
I always knew that Howard Hayes was never original. Now I know for sure.
Truly, the Dragon Prince is the Dark Souls of animation.
Well, yeah, it's difficult to watch half the time.
Get good.
Thus began.
But yeah, with the defeat of the dragons, the Age of Fire began and prosperity arise, civilization, you know, were built, and in the end, the vast city of Lordran was built as a result.
Everything changed
But
when
like
the
everything
Foundations
else,
happened.
at some point, things are forced to kind of crumble because it's a natural order of things. And now we're basically at that point. The flame is about to fade, and the people are, for some reason, finding that the dead are rising by being cursed with a mysterious Darksign, a sort of a glowing, flaming tattoo that brings them back to life. But if they don't regain their humanity soon, they will go hollow and become mindless zombies. So yeah, technically speaking, this is about a zombie apocalypse. So
it's a zombie apocalypse, the Fire Nation, and but killing a dragon.
It's a bunch of different classical D&D style fantasy tropes taken to their logical extreme and put them in a very grimdark setting. Miyazaki specifically said that he took a lot of inspiration from Western media and Berserk, the manga Berserk as well. So he mixed things up a bit to create these explosive cocktail. So our action begins with our hero stranded in a cell. Yeah, kind of like however, this is not your average Elder Scrolls game, so we need to get out.
There. We banished you because you scare the kids everywhere you go. Seriously, it's like you were created by 3 random schmucks.
Oh, mouse. So yeah, all the time that we spent with our character, he doesn't look too good right now, because he's an undead as well. Apparently our character died, but somehow someone may be lending a helping hand. Let's see.
Thanks, I guess.
Unfortunately, right now we're in Northern Undead Asylum, and we're only armed with a paltry, broken sword that does jack shit. So, But we got the dungeon key from that aperture in the ceiling, so we might as well put it to good use, I guess. Here we go. The controls are rather simple, but it's simple to learn but difficult to master. Your move, obviously, the move is completely analog. The circle is used for both rolling, dodging, and sprinting, but it consumes a stamina bar, the green bar under your health bar. Your attacks are used with the dorsal, in this case R1 and R2. This. The left ones are used, for example, for your shield, but right now we don't have anything, so we can't do that much. And if we remove our equipment, I'll put it later, we see that this is how our character looks. It's not really good looking. Yeah, let's put that back in as well. It will give us also more protection. There we go. And we even get, for tutorial-wise, this is actually really useful, because right now we're having like a couple of enemies that cannot react, to our provocation, so we can very easily slaughter them like that. So it's perfect for tutorial purposes. Unfortunately, like I said, our broken sword is very, bad, so we need to find something to replace it fast. Let's say this. Using R3, in this case, locks you on target, similar to a Kingdom Hearts game when you use the R1 button, I think. So it's very useful if you're engaged in a combat that reaches a stale, where you need to, move around, kind of like in a ballet, dancing around your opponent. We'll encounter a couple of those later on the line, so it's going to be more apparent there. And here we reach our checkpoints, the bonfires. Bonfires can do a lot of things, but for now we can just simply, use them as checkpoints and leaving there. So unfortunately our only way out of here for now is, because I think right now here there is a locked door here. There you go. So yeah, there's only one big door here.
basically, this particular world is in a constant state of celebrating bonfire nights.
Kinda. And if we take a peek of a look, there's someone waiting for us at top of the building, but let's see. Oh shit. This is already your test. This thing can kill you very, very easily. So basically, your hint is that you're not supposed to fight this thing. You can potentially, but it's not recommended. Instead, you need to find this exit here. If you manage to kill him at the first time, it's mostly recommended for New Game Plus. You will get his weapon, actually, basically a giant club. But for the purpose of our character, we don't need it, especially because it requires a lot of strength to wield it. So let's continue right now for our merry road as much as we can. Nope. And we got a shield. There we go. So let's put it to good use immediately. A cracked round shield, which is the one by default of the pyromancer. It's not the best form of protection, but the good news is that the game will throw shields at you very easily. So we'll be able to replace it really soon enough. Shields worked a bit use a bit of a complicated algorithm, in a sense that they give you protection, but at the same time, if they're not enough, you will still take some damage. But I'll explain a bit more later on the line, because there's such a long things to talk. And we got our starting weapon that we saw in the character creation, the one-hand axe. Basically, right now we're much more suited for fighting purposes, as we will see by this unfortunate archer, like this. Voila.
I mean, imagine people telling the tale of your adventure to like kids of the future. This kids is the story of Tio Sonny, and all the kids start singing. What's so funny? Tio Sonny.
It's a name that the bards will tell legends in the years to come with.
Yeah. I clearly remember the great Tio Sonny.
If you go through up this ladder, you need to dodge quickly because some dickhead will throw a ball at you like this. So let's go kick his ass because fucking bullshit piece of shit.
Tio Sonny, the guy who managed to repair the sun and fix the ozone layer before we all fried.
And by opening a door right down, we can get a shortcut to the first bonfire, but we don't really need it at the moment. What we need right now is to enter the passage that the ball created by falling, and look at that, it's the knight that actually threw the body up here, so let's listen what he can tell to us.
Oh, you.
Help! Please, I've died like 55 times, you gotta help.
Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon.
Fortunately, he's gravely wounded, but
well, actually, that's more near automata.
Hear me out, will you?
But he wants for us to listen to his story. We kind of need it, so unfortunately, we'll not ask you for a decision, for an option. So sorry. Don't worry. We will get a couple of split paths later on where we can choose where to go.
Regrettably.
Okay, but if he starts wasting our time and just evolving into just twaddle, can we decapitate him?
Hold on. Basically, there's a prophecy that tells that if someone will escape from the undead asylum and will manage to ring the supposed bell of awakening, he will know his or her own fate. Well, sounds good to us, I guess. And he also has a gift for us, apparently.
Take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
Estus flasks. Basically, these are your healing potions. I have no idea what there actually is inside these orange, yellow concoction. Maybe it's like, it really is Sunny D. Who knows?
And this.
But basically, obviously, these will be the things that will keep us alive through our journey. And we also got the key that we need to proceed.
I would hate to harm you after death. So go now. And thank you.
Thank you, I guess. Alright, Leaves. He has told all that we
Now
need.
I'm
So, Leaves, do you still want to be Do you still want to attack him, or do you want to be merciful about this?
He can die on his own.
He's gonna
Shira?
die anyway, and this is Dwibs we're talking about. He has a bias.
Just let him die. Let fate take its course. And I don't want to be responsible for it.
Sure, alright, let's just leave him here. I'm sure nothing will be going from this. Oh yeah, that's another thing, the ragdoll physics. This game has one of the best ragdoll physics I ever seen. It's so beautiful. Alright, we're actually close to the end of our starting area. And we got our pyromancy flame, yes! Alright, shoot. Yeah, there's also another thing. There we go. If you pause, the game actually doesn't pause, similar to a game like Dead Space. So be extremely careful when you're using your equipment. There we go, piece of shit. Alright, like I was saying, let's equip our pyromancy flame. By switching using the directional pad, we can have the... There we go, like this. You can also put back your shield if you want, but I do not recommend it. And we switch to the pyromancy. Basically, it's the spells that we use. It's correlated to the one on the top part of our menu. In this case, a simple fireball spell. Right now, pyromancy is not that great, but the good thing is that it doesn't need to scale, for example, with our intelligence stat. So, like I said, pyromancy is a perfect, similar magic build for non-magic. For people who don't want to use magic on their own. This is an enemy that tests your strength a bit more, but also can give potentially a good, there you go, tutorial for, if I can get to it, Jesus Christ, oh, you bastard. There you go, if I can get to it, Jesus. No, apparently you can. Potentially you can backstab. Basically the gist of it is that you potentially can backstab enemies, but apparently I'm having our time doing for this one, so I'll just kill it. Fuck it. We don't have all time.
You say you're going full me on this, are you?
We can allow ourselves. So we enter here, we find ourselves on top of our, hamster guy. So let's give him a warm welcome. Oh fuck, I missed it. Well, but the gist of it is that you can potentially, attack him from above, but now is where the real fight starts. There we go. The Asylum demon. Jesus Christ, he's so bad ugly. Yeah, but look at this butt. Jesus Christ.
That the way you tried to do the whole cool jumping off the ledge thing
Like a blooper.
Yeah, oh shit, I saw the two.
The Dark Souls games are chock full of things like this, so... As far as boss fights goes, this first one is much more merciful. Again, it's more for tutorial purposes. Obviously, I'm more casual. The thing that got caught off guard all the people back in the day was the fact that it wasn't the difficulty was relative. In this case, it was consistent for his own game the game, but it was amped up for the average game that was back then. So that's what kind of got caught off guard people. Is like, oh shit, I actually died in a few hits. Here, I need to actually, become good at this game if I want to surprise our enemies. And there you go. By beating the demon, we got the Pilgrim's Key, and we can just get the fuck out of here. Good job. Go straight ahead.
Where more death will be waiting.
Yes. However, there's a sort of a secret that we don't really need right now. Basically, if you go through here and just be very careful about your step,
Welcome to die.
you will find, there you go, a nest. Right now you don't do anything, but let's just say that if potentially we come back soon, we can do some negotiation, some training, some parlay if we want. But right now, let's go through the edge and see what awaits us. I gotta say, I really appreciate the job that From Software did, managing to upscale everything at 60 frames. It really is a nice
One day
touch.
an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage.
We're on Pride Rock now.
Nah, this game does not suck. Man, I'm not sure how to handle it properly.
Just find the cat and hold
Lordran.
him up in the air, pretend he's a lion.
But Waves, everything's dead in this place.
Just find a corpse of one then.
And there you go, this giant raven that exists for this purpose basically brings us to Lordran, the land of the gods,
That,
supposedly.
ladies and gentlemen, is what would have happened if the Eagles just flew the Fellowship to Mordor.
I'll save that for the commentary because Jesus Christ. In Lordran, level up and kindle at bonfires. Basically, bonfires now will be used for progressing our stats. Basically, we will decide eventually how much do we want to progress our stack, which direction we need to go, and this will determine the build of our character. How much do we want to, the direction we want to go, the weapons where we want to pick for our proud Teosani, and the things that it will equip as well. There we go. But right now, one last thing. Let's talk to this guy and see what he tells us.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are...
Well, game, moving already your goalpost, because apparently there are now 2 Bells of Awakening instead of just
The
one.
other is far, far
One is up above, the other very, very below.
So it's as above, so
And
below
something
then?
happened?
Kinda, because the one below is the one that's probably gonna make us, rage the most, believe me.
So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
That's so funny. Anyway, I think right now I'll just collect the items here and we'll call it a day. Humanity is your ticket to a lot of things. It basically allows you to contact other spirits in order to, receive cooperation in boss fights, but at the same time it potentially allows other people to invade your world, but that's still a long story that I can narrate next time. Other items may include bombs, for example, that can help us, stuff like that. But anyway, for now we'll just rest here, and I think it's a good thing we'll call this right now. I think we've done enough for one day. So tune in next time where our pilgrimage officially starts from the bottom of, our little hub world here. See ya!
Ciao.
See ya.